maybe we'll get the earth in the filter tomorrow and filter this and see what it looks like. We might need some bromine initializer to when the chlorine works, the shock works good on the green, but the brown stuff is harder to get rid of. So we might use a bromine initializer to do that. So this is running and bypassed, just the pump to circulate. Good morning. It is Thursday. Let's see if we can see the sun. Sun is nice and bright. Blue skies. It's probably 70, light wind. Hasn't rained in a week. And this is Thursday. We opened the pool Tuesday and the water was clear, but the sides and the bottom were black algae, and you can kind of see there's still some. I wiped it all down with the brush, put a bunch of shock in, ran the filter and ran the pump, bypassed the filter because we can do that. We bypassed the filter, just ran the pump, let it circulate, and then we put the filter in line, earth filter, let it run all day yesterday, Wednesday. Now I can kind of see the water is cleared up and we got a bunch of crap on the bottom, but the filter needs to get backwashed. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use our system of valves to blow all the crap out the bottom, and then we're going to put water back through this way to blow out more crap from the filter and out, and then we have a special way of having the load since the water is not in there, right? So we have to do that too. Let's go see what kind of chunky stuff we got coming out. Ooh, that's not nice and clear. That's pretty goopy. All right, we're just gonna let this run. Okay, so we close this valve because we don't want water coming back to the pool. We want the water to go out to discharge. This will allow the water, the pump to pump water all the way through, and we're gonna blast the shit out of there. 3, 2, 1. Woo! We got a leak. All right, so now we turn this valve so the water is going to go and into here and then out. So it's going to backwash, the official term. Let's see what happens. Firing. Woo! All right, so this one goes. Stop water there. Let water go to the bottom. Pump a couple more times. Let's see what we got. She's definitely running clear. All right, I think we're gonna blast it one more time. Front wash, front wash. Ready, fire. Yeah, that's a lot clearer. All right. I gotta mix up. I got my bucket. We gotta put some water in this, stir it up, and then we'll do that part. Okay, there we go. Valve in the off, reset the discharge hose. This needs to go back to originally scheduled programming. Water will come through, go to the pool. Water needs to go into the filter, and now we need to do this section here, which involves moving this to be partially open. All right, let's do this. Full open. Let's do full open. So now that's open. All right, so it looks like we got most of the earth through there. We're gonna turn this back to regularly scheduled full bottom drain. And let's see, do we have full bottom drain? Full bottom drain. So now the water should come from the bottom in through the strainer, through the pump, into the filter, out the filter, and into the pool. You and I will be the first to know. Alright, looks like we got little tiny air bubbles coming out. Not really pumping very hard, got some air bound here. Let's let that out. Okay, so you backwashed. Now we got the pool filter in, but as you can see, we can't use this system because the water level isn't high enough. I keep the pool like half height or so for the grandkids. So what we need to do is we put this into this section here. I gotta remove that cap. Oh, that hurts my hip. That's kind of weird. So let's do that. I need two hands. Okay, so here's the process. This line is full of air. So what we want to do is use the bottom drain, pull water in from the bottom drain, go through the filter, but now instead of going to the pool, we want to go backwards and purge all the air out of the pool filter hose. So to do that, we would need to set this to there, and this needs to be full to port blue, so that will pump water through there, pushing air out, and should make lots of bubbles. So everybody says, woo! Whoa! You blew a hose. You blew a hose, Batman. So I had to go get a screwdriver. So this is what happened here. I'll show you. I gotta hand hold this because I don't have a big tripod out here. So this is what happened. That goes in there, and the hose clamp was loose, so I gotta tighten it up. Okay, back on, full blue. Let's see, we got bubbles coming out. We got pressure coming through. There's all the bubbles coming up. All right, so we got the air out of the line. We now move this to full red. And full red is this port, so it should now suck and come down into here. And once that's established, then I have to turn this to off, or to full, no, to off. So it won't be sucking from here or here. It'll be sucking from that side. Hang on. All right. By the powers invested in me, power on. All right, so now the vacuum and the bottom drain should be working at the same time. And now we will slowly turn this to the off position. So now it should be fully sucking from the vacuum. And we're not gonna make you sit here and watch me vacuum, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna switch over to this vacuum head because the other one is getting stuck to the bottom. There's too much suction, the bristles are shot. So this is a one that like self-moving thing, it jiggles, which works good if you have a perfectly flat bottom pool. Mine's sloping. If you have unlimited hose, there's like no hose resistance. My hose just makes it to the other side, so this piece never makes it to the other side because it's too hard to pull all that hose. And then if you have no current, but my water goes in a circle, and so this thing goes with the current, and then it gets stuck. So I don't like to use it by itself, but I'm going to use it with the handle and manually vacuum. Yeah, you can kind of see the bristles are all flattened out from the winter time, and it's good. So maybe it's time for a new one of those. But meantime, we're gonna use the other one. Ooh, thick and chewy. All right. So we got the pool vacuumed all the big stuff up. There's will have to be a couple passes, but as you can see, we got that. We reset to full bottom drain, and we are now going to backwash and reset. Recharge the filter, and we put some shock in. Got to check the water chemistry, wipe down the walls. All right, so we recharged the filter, and that's running, but we're now bypassing it. We're in bypass mode. So we're just circulating water. It has more shock, maintenance chlorine, and initial algicide. We're gonna let this circulate for a while, and then I'm gonna come and brush down the sides, and then later, probably maybe even tomorrow, we will do another vacuum. Let's do these one at a time. All right, so here's my test strip. Let's do alkalinity. So alkalinity shows maybe 40. Their thing says 50. Alkalinity is low. Treat with 17 pounds of alkalinity power. I got alkalinity power, alkalinity power, alkalinity power. All right, let's figure out how we're gonna do that. Okay, there's some alkalinity in a bucket of water. We're gonna dump it in the pool. Let's see if you can watch me. All right, I don't have a test thing for hardness. This thing says hardness. Where's my hardness? Calcium hardness is 70. I need to be 200. Calcium hardness, treat with 20 pounds. This is 10 pounds, so I'm gonna mix half of it in water and pour it in and see where we go. That bucket got pretty hot. That's pretty intense. Yeah, but now I think the pH is a little low. I gotta go see if I get pH increaser. All right, so my kit says pH is a little low. Their test says, if I can take my glasses, I can see pH 7 is a little low. I have pH decreaser, but not increaser, so I'll have to go get some of that in a couple days when I go get the water rechecked. All right, probably the last thing before lunch is we got the brush on there, and we're going to brush the sides. The bottom looks pretty good, so you can stay and watch. Just be very careful because you're on a shaky ledge. We don't explain it to your parents what happened. All right, careful. Okie dokie. So I will brush down the walls and the bottom, and I think it's just going to sit here and circulate on pump, no filter for the day. And then I'm thinking tomorrow I will backwash. I already backwash, so I will probably vacuum and filter. All right, we got grass to cut today. It's Thursday afternoon. This has had a few hours to sit. It doesn't look like it's green algae. It's just cloudy. So we put the filter on, and we're just gonna let the filter run. A lot of cottonwood stuff on top, but yeah, just gonna let that run for the afternoon. Here we go, Friday afternoon. We started Tuesday. Got the cover off Tuesday. So we did our second vacuuming, second water chemistry adjustment, and we got the cover on. See all the fuzzies coming down? We want to keep that out of the pool. Makes a mess trying to vacuum it up, filter it. So water temperature, I believe. Don't believe me. Let's check the thermometer. you see that? 68 it looks like. Yep. The heater is coming. Heater is coming in next week or the week after, and the heater is going to go right there. Gonna pipe the water to the heater, and it goes back in the pool. And we got a bunch of firewood ready to go. Get it up to at least 80, so the adults will go in the pool.